Hello, I'm Philip Stoten for EMS Now. I'm here at Inside Flextronics in Paderborn in Germany, and I'm joined by Roy Scott, who is responsible within the organisation for CSER, Corporate Social Environmental Responsibility.
Correct.
So the key word there, responsibility, and I really wanted to just talk through the different areas of responsibility that are important within the Flextronics organisation. Let's start with the headline one, which is your staff. Over 100,000 staff worldwide. What are the key challenges with respect to responsibility to them in all the different environments you operate in?
So Flextronics has a strategic response to corporate social and environmental responsibility. We call it Flex Pledge. And we've developed this on the back of the Electronic Industry Citizenship Coalition framework, which looks at the labour ethics, it looks at health and safety, it looks at the environment, and we've added in the community engagement process. And that's our way we manage our responsibility towards our employees. And also it's an internal and it's an external process as well.
Okay, and you mentioned community engagement there. That's obviously a big element, particularly when you're working in low-cost, challenged environments.
Sure.
Give me some examples of the sort of thing that Flextronics does in those.
So for example, in Team Mishwara, for example, we have a lot of community programs which looks at charities and hospitals and programs where Flex can contribute back to the community in which they work, because we're all stakeholders in the one area, so we like to engage within those communities because we're all living together in the one area.
Yeah, and for example in Asia, obviously there are those challenges, but we also hear a lot about working conditions, those kind of things. How do you monitor so many facilities and so many different environments?
So part of our Flex Pledge program, we've an intensive part in which we track and monitor working hours. We also have a lot of management systems which track and monitor the environmental and the health and safety aspects. And if there's needed to be corrective actions done, and in general management system terms, we have our corrective actions plans that we put together, and then we continuously monitor this on an ongoing basis. Plus, part of the Flex Pledge is the monitoring, the auditing and the certification process.
Okay, and in terms of who you get support from that for example, are there NGOs, are there operations in the regions that give you feedback, that give you assistance on that?
Yeah, I mean, we work with some local NGOs. We're in China, particularly on migrant worker aspects, to see how Flex can best improve the quality of their life. We're in the community in which they are.
Okay, and environmental is another one of the words in your title. What about the responsibility to the environment, to the planet? And obviously, it's a big logistics business. There's a lot of stuff moving around. How do you manage that? So,
I mean, Flex again has a strategy which we have 5 elements. It's take back and recycle. It's pollution control. It's about a wide range of stuff. Plus, we've also got our product environmental compliance, where we ensure that the materials that's used within the products are environmentally friendly and that they're not on the banned list. So it's both a process and a product environmental responsibility that we have.
Okay, and obviously it's a very lean process, and lean should match up with green, shouldn't it? It should have a positive environmental impact.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if we use less resources, well, then we have less resources which we have to recycle and reuse.
Or dispose of, yeah, so that makes absolute sense. And just going through the kind of 4 stages, we've talked about staff, we've talked about region, we've talked about responsibility to the environment. Lastly, and perhaps equally importantly, responsibility to your customer. Anything you do in terms of all those elements reflects on your customer. You have a responsibility to them as well, I think.
So, I mean, what we do within Flex Pledge is not only protecting the Flextronics brand, but it's protecting the brand of our customer as well. I mean, we don't want to wake up some morning and see our customer's name in the paper because of, some problem.
Done, yeah.
So, within our corporate social responsibility, we put huge responsibility again on our people to manage the customer's reputation as well.
And do you find the OEMs are actually drilling down into the supply chain to make sure that happens? You obviously drill down into your supply chain too.
Yeah, so I mean, going back to 2006 when, some customers were making it a condition of doing business, so it's growing exponentially ever since then. So nearly all of the big OEMs have their own social responsibility programs in which they drill down into their suppliers, Flex being one of them.
Yeah.
So because we're well positioned, because we have a very good, robust system in-house, that we can address their concerns when they come to us.
Yeah, and you can have a standard that is above everything they ask you to meet, which is the desire, isn't it? Fantastic. Well, Roy, thanks for your time.
Okay, thanks
for being
Philip
here
for
today.
having me. Yeah, it was a
And we'll
pleasure
speak
talking to
soon.
you.
Thank you.
Very much. Cheers.